Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 and today we're in House Flipper. We've come to the first office to take a look at the garden. As you can see, it's a big open area, so you've got lots and lots of space to be able to work with. As you can see, I've taken out all of the weeds and the trees, and I've cut all the grass so that we've got a big open area to be working with. Now I wanted to take a look at working with this garden because we've got such a big open space to work with. I think it's the biggest plot of garden to be able to build on. So I thought this would be a great template to play around with all the things that we can put into our gardens and design a big, beautiful, wonderful garden around this little tiny house, so that the house itself is kind of secondary. The person that would live here would want to spend all of their time in the garden itself. And here we are back at the first office space, which had such a great big beautiful garden. Now this one's ended up being a garden kind of in two parts. At first I thought, because the interior I've decorated in sort of all blues and it kind of feels a bit masculine, I started off thinking maybe the house would be for a single guy, though to be honest I'm not sure a single guy would use this Saturday bed. But I did think originally that I'd kind of think it might be for a single guy, and that's what I started doing the back of the house for. So if we start over here, thinking maybe a single younger guy who likes to entertain his friends and his family and likes a lot of open outdoor space, I thought a great big pool area would be absolutely beautiful. And then when his friends come over, they can have pool parties and they can have a lot of fun. So that's what I came up with here, and I really like this. I like the idea of having all these day lounges, and I've just added these tables in between the beds for sun lounging, and you can just relax. And then if you want a little light and a sort of oriental effect, maybe a semi-spiritual thought for the person, it depends on how the person likes their life, right? So I just really liked this idea. And then I thought single guy is probably going to want some nice gym equipment to keep fit. Lots of guys like to do that, and if you've got the space and you've got a bit of spare money, say you're a young professional who's got a lot of ready income, what would be better than having your own gym equipment? So I set up this beautiful little gym equipment area, and you've got the bark chippings around the edge of the mat just in case you fall or roll too far and you just want to have a nice soft surface to land on. And then next to that, the entertainment guru will of course want a barbecue and a space for entertaining. So let's have our outdoor cinema area with lots of seating for all your friends to enjoy. So we've used again the same tables that we used over here, but we've used a different colour scheme here. We've used the sort of grey along the edges of the blue tops, and we've used the pale sort of grey blue in the seating with white accents to just keep it all clean and modern and sleek. And that is in keeping of course with the tech. So we've got the movie projector on a table here and the screen, and if you look from the front, all the seats have a nice clear view, none of them is blocked from any of the other seating. And then of course got to have a nice sleek black Barbie and a nice picnic bench to be able to sit and eat your barbecue food and not get it on your nice cushions and everything in the rest of your furniture. So this area is really the beautiful quintessential purpose built for the single young professional guy with a lot of income and a lot of friends that he likes to entertain. And that turned out absolutely beautifully. But then I realised I've got a lot of garden left, and I started adding little accents. So I added some like hostas along the edge of here, which again would fit with what a guy might do with their garden. They'd want to keep it pretty simple. Plants and garden that don't really need a lot of work, so we've used the little chips along to stop you needing to weed a lot, and then we've used plants that can look after themselves. Basically we've used the hostas and little allium hosta type plants which would completely look after themselves until they wither up and die. So these would be great for a guy's garden. But then I started to perhaps start to build a little more in line with what I would like to build for myself. So we started off having little lilac bushes and more foliage, and then here it starts to feel a little bit more girly. And this is where we might have slipped from the single guy with lots of income to dispose of and entertain his friends. Here maybe we've got a garden that's planted by grandma or mum or somebody to add a bit of colour to his garden. But then we've got some more floral like hydrangea bushes and big pretty flowers and things, and it started to feel like maybe not for a single guy. Maybe this is a girl or an older couple or something starting to move in. So I feel like I've got a garden in two parts. So we've got the young single rich guy who entertains lots of people here, and then we've gone more for the garden that an older couple might put in the garden. So we've got the decorative grass and the pampas and a traditional style of seating bench and a hedging here, and then we're moving into the tall conifer type trees for decoration along the edge of the front, and we've got this floral feel that an older lady might put in, and we've done the same on this side here. And then perfect thing for an older couple's garden, we've got a hammock for relaxing, and then we've built this beautiful garden for our veggies. So we've got our lettuce and our carrots and our cucumbers and our pumpkins, and we've got two types of tomatoes. We've got the tall ones, we've got the tiny ones, and then we've got our fruit trees. We've got the we've got an apple, a pear and a plum. Yeah, so we've got an apple, a plum and a pear tree at the back, and then on the second half of it we've got the fruits. We've got the different types of the currants and the black, yeah, so we've got blueberries, raspberries, then we've got the red currants, white currants, black currants, and then a load of strawberries. So this there feels more like an older couple's garden. So I've kind of ended up with a garden in two parts. So we've got the young single guy who entertains a lot, and then we've got the older couple with their beautiful garden for growing their fruits and veggies and for having a bit of colour and brightness in the foliage and the plants in the front, and then nice little seating areas to relax in with nice open spaces for just grass cutting and maybe somewhere for the grandkids to come and play. And that is what I've ended up building, and I'm really pleased with the way this has turned out. I love the vegetable and fruit plot. I think that's turned out beautifully, and then I really like the way that this whole entertaining area has come together around here. I just really like the way this has turned out, and I enjoyed doing this. It did take me a really long time to do, but I've enjoyed doing it. I've learned a lot about what you can do with the garden areas, and I hope that you get some inspiration from this for your own builds. So hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. From SoftKitty99, goodbye and happy gaming!